Today is December 16th, 2013, and it's the first day of strictly late season bow hunting, and it's been just brutally cold temperatures up here in northern Wisconsin for the last 3 weeks. I don't think it's been above 10 degrees, and it's been mainly right around zero with below zero wind chills for, like I say, the last 3 weeks. Deer movement hasn't been too great, but it's starting to pick up here. It's a little warmer today. I think it's 8 degrees, and I got a light snow just started to fall, and it's supposed to start warming up, maybe get up into the low 20s tomorrow, so hoping it should get them deer up and moving. I'm set up on a edge of a little creek back in the cedar swamp. I got a bait. I've been baiting out here since the first day of muzzleloader season. This is the first day I've actually hunted it, because I haven't had a lot of daylight pictures of deer, but I did chase a deer off the bait when I walked in here, so I'm going to put this camera away and be quiet, and hopefully something shows up here before dark. Got a couple little bucks coming in, but nothing decent yet, but you never know, one could always show up. But if a doe does show up and give me a good shot tonight, I'll definitely take a doe. I haven't shot a deer all season. I've been having the worst deer season since 2006. So I guess I'll just wait and see what happens tonight. Hopefully I get lucky. think it finally all just came together here in 2013. Just had about a 14 or 15 inch wide 8-pointer. Got a busted G3 on one side, not the biggest buck in the world, but after the tough season I've had, I'm happy with them. Oh. I couldn't really tell where the shot was. I'm so covered, snow, and my bow is covered. I shot, there was just snow flying everywhere. But I'm pretty sure I could see blood right down where I hit him. It don't sound like he ran real far, and he was crashing the whole way, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. But it's been just a miserable night in the tree stand. I'm up here in this climber, and no deer movement whatsoever. And then this guy showed up here at 10 to 4. I've never had any pictures of that buck. Got lucky and he showed up tonight. But I'm gonna start packing my stuff up here and get down out of the tree and check out the blood trail, and then finally probably go out and throw my stuff in the truck and then come back in here and pick up the blood trail. So I'm gonna get down here before it gets dark and see what I got on the ground. There's the arrow. Seems I got well, the arrow's got good blood on it, but there's not really any blood here where I shot him. My Luminox broke and 2 of my fletchings are peeled off my arrow. So I'm wondering if I punched him right through the front shoulders. But the arrow's got a lot of blood on it. I'm gonna back out here and text a couple friends to see if somebody can't come help me track him down here. And I'll go throw my climber in the truck and peel some clothes off and give this deer a little time. Like I say, there's not much of a blood trail, but the arrow looks good, so I'm just going to leave that here and go take some clothes off and get my climber put away and come back in here in about an hour and get on his trail and see what I can find. Well, today is December 17th, 2013, and sitting behind my Northern Wisconsin 8-point that I shot last night. You can tell he's stiff, he's been hanging overnight, but shot him at 10 to 4 last night, and went back in and found him about an hour and a half later. We ran out of camera lights, so got him back out today and did some follow-up video here. But the big problem was last night when we finally found him, he had hit a tree and knocked this horn off, and we couldn't find the horn last night. We looked around for an hour and a half and just couldn't find it anywhere, but we got lucky and went back in today and looked for it about another 20 minutes and found it laying about 20 feet off the runway he was going down, so it flew quite a ways after he knocked it off. He didn't break it, it was just a shed antler. It was knocked off right at the pedicle, but got lucky and found it today. I'm sure glad we found it. I want to have to wait and go back in the spring and try and find it. So this is the end of another successful season of public land hunting up here in northern Wisconsin. So I guess it's time to get everything put away and wait for springtime and start preparing for next year. So another successful season in the books. Not the biggest buck in the world, but didn't have a very good bow season. Real bad weather the whole season. So I'm definitely happy with this one. It's probably the longest and hardest I've ever hunted for a deer. So this one will definitely be a memorable one. For how long I had to hunt to get this one. It's my first late season buck ever in my entire life, and first time I ever had one shed an antler after I shot it, so I'll definitely remember this one. Well, today is December 17th, and it's the day after I shot my buck. I shot him last night and found the deer right away last night. He only went about 100 yards, but once we found the deer here, he shed the left side of his antler. So we come back in here today. We looked for an hour and a half last night and couldn't find it anywhere. So we came back in here today and got lucky and found it here, but you can see I brought the rake in. I've been raking the snow looking for it, and I just happened to glance over here, and right there, just that little bit was sticking up. And there it is. So I have to head back to the house and figure out how to reattach it to the skull, but I'm just glad I found it.